Right, so I just thought it might be useful for me to give you guys a small glimpse into what a production spreadsheet could look like for an animation. And this is an actual working spreadsheet, one that I am using as I'm going through this this commission project. It's for a music video, so it's a very cinematic piece of animation, an animated story, and we've got multiple animators working on this. Now I'm not going to show you all of it because some of it contains some confidential information which I don't want to disclose, you know, contact details and things like that. So I won't be showing you all of this, but I'll just give you a glimpse of what this looks like. So firstly, I did have it set up here, and this is a more complex one. And you know, you learn that theoretically certain spreadsheets are needlessly complicated, and that soon gets stripped away when you actually have to use it. So it started off as this one, which is a bit too complex, and it had extra steps in that weren't needed. So certain steps in the way I found that I wouldn't need, because I wouldn't update it often enough to need to know that this, say, was in progress or that it's checked and verified, this one. So it's actually it's interesting because it evolves to become as simple as it possibly can out of necessity. So here I've got the shot numbers. This is the main thing, is the shot list, and this is like, this list down here is so important. It's so important that all the animators and everyone working on it are aware of the shot list. And this one goes on for about 75 frames, 75 shots. After that, these are just sort of extra bits and pieces that I've had to work in places. The grayed out areas are the ones that the shots that have been taken out and that are now not being used. Red are things that urgently need doing. You can see from this the amount of green that we've got. We're really close to finishing, and it's lucky that we are really close to finishing, because yeah, it's quite late in the game, and we need to meet this deadline now. So we're really working very hard to get it finished. Now we've got a very short description, just so that we can identify what scene is what. So climbing on board, we will just know from that description, okay, it's that scene. I've got it in my mind. I know which scene 17 is now. So it corresponds like that, so we know who's doing what and everything. These are just notes to myself saying possible After Effects. Like, sometimes I need to fix things in compositing, and some things you can't do in the actual animation, you need to composite them, so those are them. The light green are the ones where it's like, it's passable, but there's something about it that I need to just tweak, and just this little light coloured square will just indicate to me, yes, wait, it's not quite finished. If you have time at the end, go back and try and add this extra little thing in. So yeah, we've got here, I've been checking off, I had to do all the background paintings because the background painter dropped out. So I made this list, background painted. So is the background painted? And then, you know, for these ones that don't need their own background, they have a background sort of swapped in. So I might take one from somewhere earlier on and just bring it in and maybe flip it about so you can't tell that it's the same background. Yeah, like I said, the red is like, okay, these really need doing. So these are just the last ones that really are important. The yellow indicates, for me, this is just my own code that I'm going by. The yellow indicates to me that it's a work in progress, like it's being done right this minute. Someone is working on it right now. And these are just, you know, this is actually so that I can keep track of who's done what, so that I can pay them correctly, or, you know, I can see, okay, yeah, I've noted down that he's done this scene and this scene. It will just make it easier in the end. yeah, what else? Okay, I just add bits on when I need them. So I realized that I needed to do rain in After Effects, but I didn't have a list for this, so I just put one here, rain. And then the blue indicates for this one, you know, you can make up your own rules. So the blue indicates that it still needs to rain in these scenes. The green indicates that I've done it, of course. So I've just gone through and added rain to all of these shots and to darken them to make them look like nighttime. That was some feedback we got from the client. So just, you know, darkened some of the scenes. So I've just done that as well, but I've still got some to do here and here. And yeah, so here, using this thing, you get a visual way of knowing how far you are in the project. And let me tell you, it really sinks in when you've got a column that looks like this, or like rows and columns that are just red. It really hits home to you, wow, I've got a lot of work ahead of me to finish this project. And you begin to appreciate this is seriously going to take some work. You know, so that's, I guess, a downside. And actually what I try to do is I don't really use the spreadsheet that much until the end of a project, because it's horrible looking at this sheet of red where you've got like hardly anything finished. It's not very encouraging, so I like to just have this at the end, and then you can see, oh, look at this lovely green, look at this, it's all green. And then it's like, okay, these bits here, they're harming my green streak, you see. So it actually makes me, it's really satisfying when I can say, oh, now I can colour this green. Ah, that feels so good. So it becomes more of an incentive. Like, it's really satisfying to actually change the colours to green. Like, if you have just, you know, if you have something like this, yeah, and you've got like one that's not, how does that make you feel? How does this make you feel? It makes you feel like you really want to change that to be red, don't you? And then when you do, it's like, ah, oh, thank you. That's been tormenting me. So it actually becomes really fun to use one of these spreadsheets. So yeah, I just thought I'd give you guys a bit of an insight into that, because it's something that maybe some of you haven't known happens if you haven't been part of larger projects involving other people as well. If you've just been a one-man band the whole time, this is something that I'm actually learning about, because I'm doing way more collaborative stuff now. I'm finding it really interesting, and I'll wrap it up there. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.